Oh God, where do I start? Bank of America is launching a zero down payment, zero closing cost mortgage products. Eligibility is based on income and home location. No minimum credit score or mortgage insurance is required. The U.S. subprime mortgage crisis was a multinational financial crisis that occurred between 2007 and 2010 that contributed to the 2007-2008 global financial crisis. It was triggered by a large decline in U.S. home prices after the collapse of a housing bubble, leading to mortgage delinquencies, foreclosures, and the devaluation of housing-related securities. Guys, what is going on? Lottery Stocks here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you're new. I did a lot of homework today after the live stream, and I do appreciate anybody popping in the live stream. This video is going to be very interesting to say the least. It's going to be DD based, and all I ask in return is to hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and get your 10 free stocks. Linked in the description. Let's get into the video. U.S. home prices declined steeply after peaking in mid-2006. It became more difficult for borrowers to refinance their loans as adjustable rate mortgages began to reset at higher interest rates, causing higher monthly payments. Mortgage delinquencies soared. The crisis had severe, long-lasting consequences for the U.S. and European economies. The U.S. entered a deep recession with nearly 9 million jobs lost during 2008 and 2009. I see 2008 repeating, not only on the charts, but on the media, through the banks, through every single financial system going on right now. It is definitely getting interesting. Whether this is going to turn in a recession, a depression, a market crash, whatever it may be, shit is starting to rhyme. History is starting to rhyme. Now, I want to go over a few things. So we talked about APE being on the threshold list for the second, and shout out to True Demon on this. He says APE has been placed on the threshold list after exactly T+7 days of trading after opening on the NYSE. This is the absolute soonest a ticker can be placed on the TSL from its opening day of trading due to T+0 day one release, T+5 days of excessive failure to delivers, and T+2 settlement. What this does for us is give us a 100% accurate read on how many naked shorts or how many synthetic shares there were in AMC stock, because it was delivered on a 1-to-1 ratio, and failure to delivers appeared as soon as they could possibly appear. APE was on the threshold list as soon as it could possibly be on the threshold list. So those failure to delivers were already there before this stock even hit NYSE. The second it hit NYSE, these shares weren't able to be delivered. So this is actually extremely interesting. Over time, we're going to count the failure to delivers, and hopefully we can get, some sort of share recount. He said, I predicted this would happen, and this would be the most reliable method by which AMC, by which we could get the count of number of shares which were naked short against AMC. The next thing we're going to go over is Russia. Okay, Russia, Europe. Shit is hitting the fan. Russia's gas supplies to Europe via the Nord Stream 1 pipeline will not resume in full until the collective West lifts sanctions against Moscow over its invasion of Ukraine. Now, the next thing is Russia. Putin attends military exercises involving Chinese forces. So, overall, this is going to spook the market as it is. We know the SPY was red. We know GameStop was red. We know AMC was red. GameStop down about 8%. AMC down about 8%. The SPY, bloody red, touching 390 again. We'll go over the technicals in a second. The next thing I wanted to go over is the cost to borrow fee for APE. It's 55%, just about 55% cost to borrow fee for APE. The short interest is above 30. Short interest is stacking. 10 million shares were borrowed against it at a 55% fee. Whoever is borrowing these shares is getting absolutely obliterated unless there is some sort of loophole, but the fee is pretty high. To say the least. Paying more than half for something should show that there's a fucking problem, right? There's an issue going on. Now, the only way this would be beneficial towards the other side and not us is if APE went bankrupt. So if this is their plan, to borrow as many shares as they can, no matter the cost to borrow fee, and, if APE goes to zero, then they win. But if not everybody sells their APE, I don't think that's going to happen. Now, the next thing is shares on loan for AMC around, right? This is ballparking it, 192 million, nearing all-time highs. Estimated short interest is 21.29% of free float, so it's a little bit lower than the previous 7 days. The current days to cover I'm sorry, the current, days to cover. Shares on loan is 4.19 days to cover. Cost to borrow is 17.9%. This is the average, but over here on Stonko Tracker, it shows no shares available to borrow on GameStop, and the most recent time these shares were available to borrow and were borrowed, there was a 23.6% fee. So people aren't paying that much of a pleasant fee on AMC as well. For the GameStop numbers, 250,000 shares available to borrow. The fee is only 11% for some reason. There was something that got reset in GameStop. It's clear as day. GameStop was on its move. It was flying. It was 54% shares DRS. There was no shares available to borrow for a while. Cost to borrow was getting as high as 300%. Overall, something happened. Something reset in GameStop. Now, I wanted to touch on technicals real quick before we close out the video. If you haven't yet, please consider smashing that like button. But the SPY touched 390 about 4 times, and I'm waiting for it to just break under this level. It is respecting this median trend line, and as long as we respect it, I guess we're hanging out good. But as soon as we don't respect it, you have a heavy, heavy room to fall, and it's lining up right with the previous lows if we did start to break below this line. So I do want to prepare you if the SPY does go red, if the SPY does dump. Be extremely careful, especially with what's going on with Russia, with Ukraine, with Europe, yada, yada, yada. Just be very, very careful. I believe Pelosi is speaking Thursday as well. The S&P 500, if it does not fall, if it does get a rally, that's fine. But I personally am expecting this to fall at some point, break under 390, and come down to at least 378, 378.80 at this support level before seeing another bounce. Now, if we do get that, that's going to just enter us in the bear market for a little while until maybe mid-September, which hopefully the 75-point basis hike comes out at 75 points and we get a rip to the upside. This is something I've been waiting for, and this is something I will be waiting for on the S&P 500, right? If you do get a pop, I think you're going to get rejected at 397 again. I don't see the SPY breaking over 397 until those interest rate hike numbers do come out. We can touch on AMC and GameStop real quick. I deleted all my drawings earlier in the live stream, so it would be more simple. But essentially, we are a few weeks away from late September's point of interest where I do think AMC will rip and get a rally up. Now, if AMC does sell off again, I want you to watch the previous lows at about $6.08. I think this is where you have room to drop to. I think it's less likely to happen because AMC and GameStop are touching major trend lines, but you are risking 24% on AMC. As for GameStop, it's touching this overall trend line since back in January, and it bounced off of this right now, or it is at least holding it. The IV was decently low, and I do expect a rip pretty soon. So this isn't financial advice, but I do think now is a decent time to grab calls on GameStop. But overall, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the DD I did for you today. It was a pain in the ass because it wasn't tough, but a lot of things are just getting more and more stressful. I feel like my brain is filling up. I don't know how you guys feel about this AMC, GameStop, the SPY, the whole mortgage-backed securities, the overall market. It's just everything is just stressful. I feel like my head is about to explode. But that is it, guys. I really do appreciate you for popping in the video. Consider smashing that like button, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment down below your favorite tickers or a ticker you want me to do a buy or sell on, and I'll make a YouTube short on it. Just make sure to have post notifications on so you can see your YouTube short. I do appreciate all the support that you guys give me. That is it. Make sure to get your 10 free stocks linked in the top of comments down below. Lottery stocks out.